Draft is Thursday night. I will be doing the preview show Wednesday night, 7 to 8 on ESPN, and working the NBA draft on ESPN on Thursday. Tommy, I know we talked about, before we get to Vic, I know we talked about the Bradley Beal trade yesterday on the Old Man and the Three Things. I want to just rehash that a little bit because we are headed into the draft. We've had one major trade. There are tons of rumors swirling around trades with the draft, specifically with the second pick and the third pick. And then we have free agency to look forward to. Draymond Green opting out. I think the general expectation is that he re-signs with Golden State on a longer deal. But I wanted to talk real specifically about the Phoenix Suns post-Bradley Beal trade. So they now have the third best odds on DraftKings Sportsbook to win the championship next year. First is Denver. Second is Boston. They jumped from plus 850, so 8.5 to 1 odds, to plus 650, 6.5 to 1 odds, following the trade. I feel like that seems fair. The one team that I'm very curious about right now is the Lakers going into this offseason, because there are question marks about Austin Reeves, Hachimura. I think they have to bring those guys back. There's question marks about the point guard position. There's rumors of Draymond potentially going there. There's just a lot that can change over the next 10 to 14 days, and it's going to be fascinating to watch.
Yeah, their level of talent is undeniable with those 3-4 when you count Ayton.
Phoenix,
with Phoenix, with those 4. So it does definitely make sense. Assuming Ayton stays for now, do you feel, and we talked a little bit about this on Monday.
I'm going to make no assumption there.
Okay. I think that's fair and smart. But is there on July 1st, when they start, talking to different free agents or whatever it is there a specific, I don't want to say position because we talk about how NBA is positionless, but is there a specific role that needs to be filled right away that would sort of like solidify that spot?
With regards to Phoenix?
Yeah.
Look, I think DeAndre Ayton, being a young player, a guy who has produced, and it seems like, given what we know, what has been reported, what we've seen, seems like maybe there was a little bit of friction with Monty and DeAndre. I'm not exactly sure about the relationship between DeAndre and Chris and Book, or with Kevin or anything like that. But it seems like a change of scenery might be the best thing for DeAndre's career. Now, whether or not that means he's going to win a championship like he has the opportunity to in Phoenix, I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much on a trade. I will say he's the one piece that could net you more rotation caliber players, because you're going to have enough scoring. I said this yesterday, but Ayton has shown that he can be a starting 5 on a top defense in the league. They've had, I think, 2 of the last 3 years, really, really elite defenses. So there's not a question mark there, but I do think, given their free agency situation, the priority for me would be figuring out a way to bring Torrey Craig back, who was particularly good in that first round series against the LA Clippers. Actually didn't play as much against Denver, but shot roughly 40%, provides that 3-and-D role. Because ultimately that's where I think, besides the 5 position, look, Book's going to play on the ball a lot. Like he's shown that he can essentially be the de facto point guard. So that's the role that I think you need to fill. And there's no guarantee, given the limitations on what they can offer free agents, there's no guarantee that you can attract a serviceable 3-and-D guy with the vet minimum. So bringing back Torrey Craig seems like that would be the priority in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. It's gonna be fascinating to see how they fill out the rest of that group.
A couple other things. I just want to, on the odds thing, and I just kind of, because we've touched on this last week a little bit. The Pelicans now at plus 4,000, which they were much higher when we did this last week. I think the general consensus is that this Zion rumor mill that has been going on for like 10 days now, that might actually be a real thing. I don't know the inner workings of how fractured that relationship is with Griff and Zion, or Zion and the team or whatever, but they're a team to watch. you brought up Dylan Brooks yesterday. I don't think he goes to Phoenix. I'd be shocked if he went anywhere for the vet minimum. The guy's
someone should pay him.
Legitimately, like when you do the, what is a player worth based on all the advanced metrics and stuff, which is how a lot of teams who do the salary structures for these deals, that's ultimately what they're using. The agencies are using that as well. Dylan Brooks is like a $15 to $20 million a year guy. So don't be surprised if he ends up getting more than the mid-level. But I think his baseline, I'd be shocked if he didn't at least get the full mid-level. So the Grizz, they could be particularly active. I know there was a player that they offered a lot of first-round picks for at the deadline. So
a lot of first-round picks.
A lot of first-round picks. So they're a team that could be particularly active, and they're going to have an interesting start to the season. I think they'll be fine at that position because we know how good Tyus Jones is. The Heat are another one. And then the whole thing around Dame and where he should go, should he want out, whatever, until we know that Damian Lillard wants out of Portland, I just feel like we shouldn't speculate.
Should chill out.
Yeah.
I thought you said it in First Take, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, or something. You were talking about it. I thought it was very well said. And it's what he's told us on the show. He's kind of baffled at all of the Monday morning quarterbacking about it. It's like he's going to say if you want something, and until he says it, I don't know why we all need to psychoanalyze nothing. Basically,
well, you got to fill airtime. I
have one question, very quick answer before we move to Vic. We're taping this Tuesday around noon. Do you think Charlotte and Portland are picking for themselves on Thursday night?
Good question. I will say I will be surprised if they both pick for themselves, if that makes sense. Like if those top three picks go and the night ends and that's what it is, I'd be surprised. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code JJ. New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code JJ. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Tennessee and Kansas, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. In West Virginia, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly. In partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 21 and over in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.